Hello and welcome to Push Climbing's online training series, a video course made to give you a better understanding of how to rock climb. My name is Paul and together we will be going through the climbing introduction and safety briefing. At Push, we value your safety and we believe safety is everyone's responsibility. We provide you with the most advanced equipment, the True Blue Autobelays, which is the only Autobelay device rated to the highest worldwide climbing standard. We also provide you with a safety briefing which includes a proper fitting of the harness, the instructions in the use of carabiners, safety checks before, during, and descending down from your climb, and a visual demonstration of what safe climbing looks like in the climbing wall. We require also all participants to complete a waiver to ensure everyone understands our safety guidelines before climbing. Today, we will be taking a look at the rules and regulations of push climbing, a warm-up and cool-down routine, how to fit the climbing gear, and 3 basic techniques to help you on the wall. So let's start with the climbing harness. A climbing harness is an item required for rock climbing. A harness secures a person to the rope or an anchor point. We start by making sure the red belay loop is in front of us, and then we proceed to pass both of our legs through the leg loops. Once each leg is passed through their respective loop, we pull the harness upwards until the waist loop is at waist height. The harness needs adjusting before remaining in place. Hold on to the buckle and pull parallel to the waist loop. It will adjust the webbing to your size. Do the same for both leg loops. To know how tight the harness must fit, one finger should be able to squeeze between you and the belt. Next are the climbing shoes. Properly fitting climbing shoes should keep your toes snug and able to work as a single unit. The first step is to undo the Velcro straps and open the shoe with your hands. Then insert the front of your foot as far forward as possible. If your toes touch the end of the shoe, it's normal. Once you inserted the front, pull on the 2 straps located at the back end of the shoe while pulling downwards with your heel. Lastly, we have the trusty chalk bag, there to provide support in the toughest of spots. The climbing chalk bag is a pouch designed to carry climbing chalk while you're on the wall. The chalk acts as a drying agent, providing extra friction, thus facilitating holding onto the rocks. The chalk bag finds its place on the back of every harness. Sometimes, harnesses have specially made loops to carry them. We will look at what you must and must not do when you're in the climbing gym. So let's dive right in. Climbers must have a collared wristband before entering the climbing area. Climbers must wear a harness at all times inside the climbing area. All climbers must attend a safety briefing the first time they visit Push. Climbers must always be clipped into the Autobelay before climbing. Climbers must follow staff instructions at all times. Climbers must tie long hair back and take off any jewelry. Eyewear has to be secured. Climbers must wear shoes and comfortable clothing. So now you know what to do. So let's take a look at what not to do. So climbers must not eat, chew gum, or drink inside the climbing area. Climbers must not run, jump, or push each other inside the climbing area. Climbers must not hold on to or pull down on the rope while climbing. Climbers must not bounce out from the wall during descent. Climbers must ensure there is only one climber per wall. Climbers must not wear skirts or dresses, sandals, high heels, or climb barefooted. Climbers must not consume alcohol or drugs before or during their climbing session. I hope you paid attention and enjoyed the video. In this next video, we will learn about warm-up and why it's important. It is no secret that performing warm-ups is one of the easiest ways to prevent injuries. When your muscles and joints aren't properly warmed up, they won't be as flexible and can get hurt a lot easier. So let's start with the warm-up. Neck flexion stretch. Put your head forward, then back, then to one side and then the other. Shoulder and back neck stretch. Link hands above your head, then push your elbows together. Tricep stretch. Pull elbow across and down on your back. Elbow parallel to the ground. Pull elbow to one side and keep parallel to the ground. Quadricep stretch. Push against the wall hand on the other foot, and pull on the back. Cross knee and elbow rotation stretch. Commence with straight legs, knee up with other elbow on side, then turn to one side and breathe out. I hope. A cool down begins by reducing the intensity of your activity, like walking at the end of your jog, which gives the blood a chance to recirculate throughout your body, thus reducing the risk of fainting and dizziness. A cool down includes stretches that target the muscles that have been overworked during your workout. So let's take a look at some good ways to cool down after the climb. Forearm stretch. Extend one arm out in front of you and flex your wrist so your fingers are pointed upwards and downwards with your palm facing forward. Hold your fingers with your other hand and gently pull them back towards you until you feel a stretch in the lower forearm. Lat stretch. Grab both hands and stretch them all the way up as high as you can and tilt your body sideways. Do this for both sides. Hamstring stretch. Start sitting down with both knees slightly bent. Push your chest straight forward towards your feet. Another fantastic alternative is a light yoga session after the hard work is done. An Autobelay is an automatic belay machine that takes up the slack as the climber ascends the climbing wall. When the climber reaches the top, or if they fall, the Autobelay catches the climber and slowly lowers them to the ground. At push, we use Headrush Technology's True Blue Autobelay, which is the only Autobelay devices rated to the highest worldwide climbing standard. However, no matter the brand, all modern Autobelays operate on similar principles and require every climber to follow the same set of rules. Okay, you say, so how do we use the Autobelay? Before you start climbing, make sure you properly put on your harness and always double check. Pull down the lanyard, open and unlock the carabiner by pushing, twisting and then pulling the gate backwards and remove the carabiner from its anchor. Clip it to the belay loop on your harness and double check if it's locked. Then, when you want to go back down, simply let go of both your hands and sit on the harness. When you reach the ground, return the carabiner back to its anchor point. You will have to repeat these steps every time before and after a climb. You can simply show up by yourself or with your friends, with or without gear, and can start climbing once you're all set. Before we get into this lesson, we have an important piece of advice. Climbing grades are subjective, and as hard as we may try, there is no perfect system for grading climbs. While our systems have improved over the years, the fact remains that climbing is a highly individualistic and subjective sport. Our differences make us stronger in some areas and weaker in others. That makes it ultimately impossible to bring together a perfect system for grading climbs. Climbing grades are easy enough to understand. The bigger the number, the more difficult the route, right? While this is true, understanding climbing grades may give you a little more insight into picking climbs and also make talking about climbing a whole lot easier. So how do we know if a route is hard or not? The two most popular scales for rope climbing are the French and the American system. The French is based on codes like 4A, B, and C, where 4 represents the level and A, B, C the difficulty within the level. In the French version, the numbers range from 1 to 9 and have sub-levels of A, B, and C. Sometimes a plus is used to even further narrow down the level. On the American system, or also known as the Yosemite decimal scale, the difficulty is shown on numbers ranging from 5.1 to 515. The American system goes even further in the subdivision of levels by using A, B, C, and D to avoid using plus. Climbers on the 4 to 6A bracket are considered beginners. 6A to 7A climbers are considered intermediate. 7B to 8B monsters are considered advanced. And 8B to 9B plus is pro level or downright alien. Don't get too caught up on the numbers though. Enjoy the climb and track your progress. To newcomers, the art of climbing movement seems strange and mysterious, almost like a dance against gravity. However, no matter how complicated the movement might look, all climbers rely on these 3 basic principles. The first skill is footwork. Beginner climbers often concentrate on looking upwards for something to grab with their hands, and they tend to forget about their footwork. Having good footwork takes enormous strain off your arms, making the climb much easier. try to keep your feet directly below you. Keep an eye out for footholds in good positions so you can maintain a better balance. Look for foot placements even more than for handholds. Once you set your foot, keep it still. You'll have a better chance of standing on the hole as you make the next move. The second most critical skill is maintaining balance. Finding your center of gravity is very important in climbing. The more you find your center, the more balanced you are. Maintaining balance allows you to move flawlessly while doing different movements. Press your foot in the opposite direction of the pull to create a counter pressure. Lean over hard and use your body weight as a counterbalance. The third lifesaver is straight arms or happy arms. Straightening your arms allows your skeleton to take most of the weight and not your muscles. Even a slight bend in your elbow means your muscles are working to hold it there. Keep in mind and practicing these principles will immeasurably help you on your quest to conquer mountains. Thank you for joining our climbing introduction course at Push. Now, you know everything you need to know to start your climbing journey with us. So don't forget to sign up to our more advanced courses, top rope belay, movement and technique, bouldering, and lead climbing.